I still love this city. People here love this city. There was a need for our community and our people that we needed then, even now, to continue to lift up and build up.
It's important that you let the community know that they matter. It's very important to listen to what their concerns are. They live there every day of their lives, and so they know what impacts them positively, and they know what impacts them negatively.
In order to sometimes do work in the trenches and the hardest of places with families who have experienced so much, you have to get in the trenches with them. And that's what Black Family Development is. It's a safe place for families to come and believe that people genuinely care about them and want to work with them. And when you have that kind of trust, it makes it a place worthwhile to be and then to stay. In the 1970s, the city of Detroit was experiencing a renaissance of opportunities wherein leadership of color was trying to create culturally responsive environments and atmosphere in order to really combat, unfortunately, the social and civil unrest occurring, for which African Americans were central. At that time, unfortunately, it was resulting in the separation of families, sometimes through incarceration, sometimes through child welfare involvement, in ways that the inequities were bubbling up, and families, of course, and the children were unfortunate victims of that societal unrest.
Something needed to be done about families being so separated from their children. What kind of services could the agency come together with to maybe do something about that?
So the social work leaders and innovators of that time, they envisioned a world that was different in the arena of human services, that is led by persons of color with an understanding of the unique needs of persons of color. They envisioned a world where individuals could come in and receive services with limited barriers for change.
Black Family Development is a good resource. They got all type of help. We got evicted, and they came together like, oh, we about to help them, help pay for a room, got us food. It's like, Black Family Development is my life. When I call, them women and men be on it. I would tell anybody, if you need any type of help, mentally, spiritually, physically, call Black Family Development and make an appointment. Even for adults and kids, like, they'll get you right.
To this day, the fabric of family preservation is interwoven in every one of our services. So we then evolved from child welfare and substance abuse into areas such as community development, mental health prevention and treatment, juvenile justice prevention, diversion, and treatment, early childhood. And so it is an absolute privilege and honor to experience the evolution of an organization that is based, rooted in the needs of community. And it is that community voice to this day that helps chart that pathway forward for future success of the organization. When I think about the word partnerships, that word is really central to our mission.
Well, it's important that you develop relationships that are trusting. So when people trust you to deliver, when they trust you that you genuinely care, it shows.
When we talk about strengthening and enhancing the lives of children, youth, and families, and doing that through partnerships, the mission, now moving into our 46th year, would never have been possible without partners from the very beginning.
There are a lot of moments in the movement for a better quality of life that stick out, such as when the community complains that there's a lot of crime at a particular business location. We all come together with the block clubs and the community partners and the local police department, and we do what we call peace and safety walks to shine light on that negativity.
We got involved with Black Family Development, and at that time, the 48205 area was considered one of the most dangerous areas in America.
The central neighborhoods that Black Family Development has focused its impact have been in the Cody Rouge community of Detroit on the west side of the city and the Osborne and Denby communities on the eastern side of Detroit.
When they came, the main benefit for the community were the resources that they came in with. They would have these meetings, they would bring all these groups, people to help the seniors. They would feed everybody. They would give people information about school, mentorship. Now we got green light stations where they got immediate police access if something go down. But that started with them coming out and protesting.
When they first started the Green Light program, we were successful in getting a green light zone across the street from Osborne High School. Since then, we were able to establish a green light across the street from Denby High School. Why is that important and significant? Because young people were going into a hot spot where they were having carjacking, shootings, drug sellings. All of that has now pretty much decreased and gone away.
For me, the support from Black Family Development, they've shown me that somebody's here for me. I feel like I have communities of people that care about me, that want to see not only me, but see young males of color like myself and others actually succeed. There's a whole support system for us. I'll say I don't think there's a better organization out there that's actually doing the groundwork, doing what you don't see on TV.
When I think about the model of care that's exuded at Black Family Development, it really is in the framework of a one-stop shop. We've really stuck with that no wrong door approach. I think that's essential for our families because when they come into care, we know that accessibility to resources and other services is often a barrier.
Every community has a need. Some communities have more needs than others or a different level of need because each community is different. I think we have to continue looking ahead and being proactive rather than reactive.
When we became the implementer of restorative practices, when that was brought to us, Detroit was the only organization that had the licensed practitioners for restorative practices, and then we were able to train basically this whole city.
The science of restorative practices is really intended to build community. As a social services organization, we see our share of harm and trauma. We sometimes see it in the eyes of children who are asking for help but don't have the words to even explain the things that have happened to them. We sometimes see that in the eyes and words of parents who themselves have experienced trauma. They don't have the words to explain that, and they certainly don't have the words to understand what's happened to their own children. And so when I think about restorative practices, it's really about not asking the why, but asking what happened and how can we help? What can we do to make things better from here? And that's the basis on which trust is built with the families that we serve.
In the last few years, the support of Black Family Development helped us strengthen our community. Without that learning from Black Family Development with Circle Keepers, Restorative Practice, I don't think that we could have got this far as we are now.
I learned from Black Family Development how to listen to what the community was saying. A person or people in the community are more apt to work with you, and they're happier when you're doing things with them as opposed to going out and just telling them what you want them to do. We want to do things with the community, and when they saw that commitment from us in terms of working with them, we had people getting involved. And again, I can't thank Black Family Development enough for the things that they taught us in terms of how to approach the community and work with the community.
We have a particular family in the neighborhood. They were having issues, the mother and daughter. They took restorative practice. They sat down, they wrote down everything that bothers them and what they would like to do and what caused that problem. And now they're the best of friends. It works. Even work with my kids.
I have plenty of clients, and they actually have children. And they call me and they tell me that what Black Family Development did for them helped them. And I'm talking about as old as 30, that Black family development, what they got here is still helping them with their families. And sometimes they have to come back and they know an agency that they can come back to and they can trust.
We were at one meeting and they was like, Mr. Spivey, come on down. We want to present you with $500 because I had spoke about children needing to learn how to swim. And the issue, of course, was the cost. I scholarshiped so many children to get swim lessons. You know, they say black folks don't swim. Well, they want to do something about it. So it's little stuff like that that they give back to the neighborhood that just make it better for everybody.
Families have needs. If we can partner with the family to begin to understand what some of those needs are and what kinds of supports that they may need to navigate those, then we can then begin to introduce other concepts about parenting, about brain development, about social emotional development. And so we want to definitely bring into the integrated health space, if you will, what that can look like for a family.
Within the umbrella of Black family development, there are peers who have life experiences, who have navigated successfully through some of the very challenges that families who come to us are facing in the moment. And so that one-stop shop approach means that an individual could come in and receive mental health counseling, substance abuse counseling, or physical well-being services to make sure that they or their children are healthy and well.
I wake up every day with the goal of who can I help and how can I help? Families, they want to be the best for their children, especially parents. Parents are children's first teachers. There are lots of things that they can do that many times they're not aware of. And so our role is to, help them find ways that they can, because that's their desire.
The services that BFDI continues to provide and has provided in the past, they've been life-changing because a person, whatever program they're in, and what I've witnessed as well as my colleagues, is that a person feels like somebody cares. People need to know that you care before they care about what you think.
When you see people getting involved, when you look at certain things where it was and look at where it is, you can feel good. That's your reward. You see that the people in the community are doing these things and you help to bring about that change. So it's a good feeling.
As an organization that has lasted for now nearly 46 years, you'll see from some of our funders reports that indicate that 98% of our young people served in juvenile justice who came in with a felony are felony-free 2 years after having been discharged from our services. Over 90% of the children that we've been able to serve in formal mental health treatment are resilient and are continuing to maintain the treatment gains that they experienced while they were being provided care with us. And that's the impact, I think, of Black family development. That's the effect of Black family development. It's an ongoing pursuit of excellence. I don't believe anything in life is guaranteed, and that every day that we have the opportunity to serve is truly a gift. One of the greatest strengths of Black family development is to be a safety net that brings resources to bear, that helps children, youth, and families based upon whatever they think they need in the moment. And it's one thing to help families through a crisis. It's another thing to help families to the point that not only do they excel, but they can, in the image of a Sankofa bird, they can keep moving forward in order to reach back and bring someone else along forward in front of them. And that's the overall goal of the agency. It's not to work with people just in the midst of a crisis, but it's to help them to excel beyond the crisis. It's one of our core values as an organization. And so, of anything, I believe that would be the BFDI Effect.